Good day, everyone. My name is Adedayo Omotunde, and it is a profound honor to join you remotely for this pivotal conference. Before I begin, I extend my sincere gratitude and respectful acknowledgements to the chief host, Professor K.O. Adebowale, and the entire university management. Thank you for convening this important gathering. It is a distinct privilege to have my address presented alongside our distinguished guests, His Excellency Ambassador Suzuki Ideo and Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Olatokunbo Awolowo Dosunmu. To the chairperson, the president of African Association for Japanese Studies, Professor Agoru, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols are hereby most respectfully observed. Thank you for the invitation to deliver this lead address on Japan African relations, new horizons, and challenges. It is in the spirit of practical learning and strategic exchange that we meet today. We are here to discuss new horizons, and that requires not just vision, but a clear plan for execution. This brings me to the focus of my address. We will be making the case for a strategic leap. We will deconstruct Japan's AI playbook, a playbook designed for national productivity, and we will apply its core principles to the unique and urgent challenges we face in Nigeria. My keynote is therefore titled The Strategic Leap: Applying Japan's AI Playbook to Nigerian Productivity. We will move from theory to action and map out a concrete blueprint for how Nigeria can harness this technology to unlock transformative growth. Let's begin. Here's the outline of our discussion. We'll start by ensuring we all have a common language around key AI terms and buzzwords. We'll then look at how AI is used at different levels, from individual productivity all the way to societal transformation. The core of our talk will be a deep dive into Japan's strategic model, followed by a honest look at Nigeria's current landscape of both opportunities and challenges. Finally, we'll synthesize this into an actionable blueprint and a clear call to action. Before we dive deeper, let's ensure that we're all on the same page regarding some key AI terms. These are buzzwords you'll often hear in discussions about AI, and it's important to understand what they mean. Let's start with AI itself. AI is a broad field. It simply means getting computers to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. Tasks like solving problems or making decisions. Next, machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Instead of programming every rule into the code, with machine learning, we simply provide data to computers, and the computers learn patterns from the data. Based on the patterns they've recognized, the computers can then make forecasts, such as forecasting weather or predicting a borrower's behavior, whether they're credit-worthy or not. Uh, Recommendation engines of streaming sites like YouTube also use machine learning to determine the songs to recommend based on the listening history of the user. This kind of technology can also be used to predict students that are likely to drop out from university. So UI can actually run an ML model to identify students that are likely to drop out and to make interventions early on. Next is generative AI. This is one of the most talked about AI today. Gen AI doesn't just analyze, it generates. It can draft emails, it can generate art, it can generate music, it can write codes. That's why tools such as ChatGPT are very popular today. Natural language processing, NLP. This is a technology that enables computers to understand and use human language. So you can then have customer service chatbots that understand Pidgin, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba when people try to interact with banks or any other service provider. By the way, in September 2025, Nigeria launched N Atlas. That's a large language model that was launched by the Ministry of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy. The objective of this LNL is to ensure digital inclusion and to preserve Nigeria's linguistic heritage. In practice, this means powerful things for the country. Example, you can have real-time translation between English and Nigerian languages, breaking down communication barriers. Imagine the president giving a speech in English, and in real time, it's translated to 350 languages in the country. You can also have, translation of educational materials to over 350 languages at the push of a button. This makes education much more easily accessible for our students who want to learn about AI, who want to learn about the latest and greatest technologies, but cannot wait until these materials are translated to local languages. With NLP, at the click of a button, we can now generate this kind of educational materials. Next up, we have computer vision. Computer vision is the field of AI that trains computers to see and interpret the world by analyzing images and videos, similar to how humans do. This is not like Big Brother watching you. Practical uses include analyzing x-rays and scans for medical diagnosis, self-driving cars in automotive industry. A neural network is a computing system inspired by the human brain. It learns to recognize patterns in data and to make decisions. Use cases include autonomous driving, streaming services, and so on. Next, digital twins. A digital twin is a virtual model of a real-world object, system, or environment, and it receives real-time data from the physical counterpart. Use cases include surgical training. So, it can provide an immersive environment for surgeons to practice complex procedures on digital models before actually going to carry out the procedure on real patients. Urban planning. So you can create digital twins of cities to optimize energy consumption, to manage traffic flow, and to plan new developments, as done in Singapore and Shanghai. In April 2025, a mere 24-hour closure of a 200-meter bridge called Independence Bridge for repairs, it brought Lagos to a standstill. Traffic in VI, Ikoyi, Lekki gridlocked, stranding workers and halting commerce that day. The economic shock was so severe, it was actually estimated to cost at least $25 million in lost business that day. The government was forced to reopen the bridge the very next morning, right? And that $25 million lesson underscores a critical need. Had it been that there was a digital twin of Lagos, this scenario would have been simulated in a safe manner. The cascade failure would have been predicted and solutions tested before inflicting this real world economic damage. This is the power of digital twins. They turn costly reactive failures into a proactive, intelligent planning scenario. Lastly, we have agentic AI. Agentic AI refers to autonomous AI systems that can proactively plan, reason, and act independently to achieve a goal, often with minimal human oversight. Use case: you have a personalized travel agent that can plan and book a trip by integrating with APIs. It will check the weather, it will compare flight costs, it will manage hotel reservations, it will plan all the activities based on the user predefined preferences and budget. You also have stock trading AI agents that can make very complex trading decisions and execute them on the behalf of the humans without any human intervention. AI's true power isn't as a tool, but as a new layer of intelligence that operates at every scale of human endeavor. To better understand AI's role in the society, it's helpful to think of it at four levels: individual, team, organizational, and national dimensions. Each level shows a different scale and scope of impact. At the individual level, AI can be seen as the amplifier. It extends your capability. It's the ultimate partner for productivity and personalized learning, making you smarter and faster. At a team level, AI can be the synchronizer. It potentially eliminates friction. It automates workflows and unlocks insights, transforming groups into truly cohesive and high performing units. At organizational level, AI can be perceived as a strategist. It drives the strategy, it optimizes operations, and enables radical innovation, creating unbeatable competitive advantage and redefining entire industries when well leveraged. At the national level, AI can be the architect to transform the society. It's the foundation for smart infrastructure, public goods, architecting a nation's future competitiveness and well being. Japan Society 5.0 strategy operates at this highest level, and this is the level we must aspire to. This is our strategic imperative to orchestrate AI across all four levels at once, from the empowered individual to the transformed nation. This is how we will build Nigeria's next chapter. In this section, we will deep dive into Japan's AI strategy. While many nations view AI as a race for either economic or military supremacy, Japan's approach is fundamentally different. It is not just its strategy, it's a national philosophy called Society 5.0. This isn't a new policy, it is the next logical step in human evolution. Japan sees our history in five distinct stages. We began as hunter gatherers, we learned to farm, creating agricultural society. The Industrial Revolution brought mass production and an industrial society. In our lifetime, the internet created the information society. And now we're entering the fifth stage, the super smart society. This is where the physical world and the digital world, i.e., the cyberspace, fully converge through AI, IoT, and big data. And here is the most critical distinction. Unlike Silicon Valley's tech for the sake of tech approach, Japan starts with a simple, profound question: what problems must we solve? For Japan, the problems were undeniable. They had a rapidly aging population and a critical shrinking workforce. So, technology was not the goal, It was the answer to those existential social challenges confronting Japan. This human-centric, problem-first philosophy is the absolute core of Japan's playbook, and it is the first lesson we must learn. Now, we've talked about the theory of Society 5.0, but what does it actually look like in practice? I'm going to play a short video that illustrates the seamless integration of AI into Japanese society. I want you to watch closely. Your task is to identify up to 4 real-world applications of AI in the video. Specifically, see if you can spot examples of some AI concepts we discussed earlier. Are you ready?
ここはちょっと未来の日本のとある町。時間ぴったり。IoT や AI 技術によって叶えられるソサエティ 5.0 の社会です。
おはよう。朝ごはん何にしようかな。
スムージーはいかがですか？
いいね。
そろそろお出かけの時間です。
よっ。コロッケパンとミックスサンドいつものお店でお願い。
注文しておきます。
昨日から血圧が高いみたいですが。
あら、そう？
おばあちゃん行ってきます。
いってらっしゃい。
おはようございます。
おはよう。はい、これ。
ありがとう。
危ねえ、間に合った。
先輩。
ああ、お前も乗るとこ？
はい。
未来が楽しみでしょ。
なんか言った？
なんでもないです。
So how did it go? Were you able to identify up to 2 use cases? The video showed us applications of computer vision in navigation and security. Remember the self-driving bus and the tractor. NLP in conversational robots, the fridge and the smart speakers, and agentic AI in the autonomous delivery systems. But the real lesson isn't the individual technologies. It is how they've been seamlessly integrated to create a super smart society that solves problems from traffic congestion to supporting an aging workforce. This holistic integration is the core of Japan's Society 5.0 strategy, and it is the blueprint we're learning from today. Japan's government acted as the architect of national vision and also the catalyst for action. It actively designed the playing field. This happened through 3 powerful mechanisms. First, they created the Strategic Council for AI Technology. This was a high-level team with one clear assignment: creating a single coherent AI strategy. It forced alignment, preventing ministries from pursuing contradictory goals and ensuring that every effort served the grand vision of Society 5.0. Second, they created moonshot R&D programs. Unlike typical grants, moonshot funds were focused on high-risk, high-reward research with audacious society-level goals. Example, by 2050, create AI robots that can autonomously manage power infrastructure. This isn't an incremental improvement. It's a deliberate push to leapfrog the current technology and solve problems at scale. And third, they facilitated deep public-private partnerships. The government didn't just fund research, it built the tables where the corporate giants, startup innovators, and university researchers could collaborate directly on national priorities. This top down coordination was essential. It provided the strategic clarity and the patient capital needed to tackle Japan's most pressing issue, which was to support their aging society. They didn't just support the market, they steered the market with purpose. The Japanese government is steering the market with purpose. But how well has corporate Japan responded to this stimulation? How well has corporate Japan responded to the Society 5.0 strategy? I have selected a few references in response to this question. At Toyota, their systems analyze data from welding robots to predict a failure 72 hours before it happens, cutting down production downtime by up to 50%. In quality control, AI vision systems now spot microscopic paint defects that human eyes simply cannot see, ensuring flawless quality. At Mitsubishi UFJ Financial, instead of just relying on traditional credit scores, AI analyzes cash flow to perform smarter assessments in granting small businesses loans at a faster pace. AI also estimates up to 80% of trade finance paperwork, freeing staff for more strategic work. At Fujifilm, AI scans medical images to flag early stage strokes and cancers. This acts as a force multiplier for radiologists, helping them to prioritize the most critical cases and dramatically improving outcomes through early detection. Also at Fujifilm, they're using AI to accelerate drug discovery, turning a process that once took years into one that takes but a few months. These aren't experiments. These are deployed solutions, boosting productivity and solving real problems in Japan. The success reveals three golden principles we must assess and consider for adoption. First, focus on the problem, not on tech. We apply AI to solve specific pain points, not for the sake of the technology. Secondly, human augmentation. We use AI to assist people, not to replace them. And three, patient investment. Investment in the AI space must be seen as a marathon, not a sprint. The ultimate lesson isn't a specific technology, but the philosophy, a unifying vision cutting across public and private sectors. So, having seen the Japanese playbook, we now turn our focus home. This next section assesses the Nigerian reality, our unique challenges, and more importantly, our immense opportunities. The AI revolution is already here in Nigeria, and it's driven by homegrown innovation. On our farms, AI has been leveraged to address the post harvest losses, which has been a national issue for many years. We have several startups boosting yields by up to 20% through precision farming and smart logistics. In finance, our fintech sector has attracted over $1 billion in investment funds, and they've leveraged AI to create credit profiles for over 40 million unbanked or underserved Nigerians, pulling them into the formal economy. And in our creative industries like the Nollywood, it contributes up to 2.3% to the GDP. AI is scaling our stories globally. While in telecoms, AI has been leveraged to manage networks, to optimize the networks that is serving over 220 million mobile subscriptions as of today. These are proofs that Nigeria is not completely left behind. AI is already being leveraged to solve local problems and to unlock our global future. In the preceding slide, we highlighted the strides we've made, but there are glaring challenges. What if we saw our greatest challenges not as obstacles, but as our most critical portfolio for AI intervention? Let me be specific. In agriculture, we lose nearly half of our harvest. This is a data problem. AI can optimize logistics to get food to market just in time, turning scarcity into abundance. In healthcare, with one doctor for thousands, we have a scale problem. AI can target patients and empower community health workers with the diagnostic tools needed, instantly extending their reach. We discussed this use case in the Fujifilm reference. In infrastructure, our traffic and blackouts are optimization problems. AI can manage smart traffic lights and predict grid failures, moving us from chaos to predictive control. In governance, AI can automate revenue collection and improve service delivery, tackling inefficiency and building trust. However, we must be honest that our progress is held back by four binding constraints. First, data scarcity. AI needs full. We lack curated data sets on soil, on traffic, on health. Second, infrastructure deficits. We have a power problem, we have internet problem. Third, we have critical skill gap. We lack the deep technical talent required to build and manage these solutions. Fourth, a lack of patient capital. Funding often chases quick wins, not hard tech. So here is our reality. Immense AI solvable problems held back by solvable constraints. A national strategy must therefore be a dual mandate to aggressively tackle these constraints to unleash this transformative potential. This is precisely what our blueprint does. Having diagnosed our own reality, we'll proceed to construct a framework tailored for Nigeria. So, how do we bridge the gap? We adapt Japan's lessons into a Nigerian blueprint. It starts with a fundamental shift. Our government must evolve from being a passive regulator to become an active enabler. Japan's government didn't just regulate, it architected. The government acted as the architect of Society 5.0. It set a bold national vision, funded high-risk moonshot R&D, and built tables for public-private collaboration. Our adaptation is therefore a three-part command to action. First, mandate open data. The government's most powerful tool is to grant permission. An executive order to release anonymized data on crop yields, on health, on traffic provides the essential data for our innovators to build solutions. Second, fund tropical AI R&D. We must invest in AI built for our context, models that are less data hungry, that can work offline and understand Nigerian languages and even diseases. This is about sovereign innovation. Thirdly, create regulatory sandboxes. Establish regulatory sandboxes that allow startups to test AI solutions in real world environments with temporary regulatory relief, fostering innovation while ensuring safety. This is how we enable. We don't pick winners, we build the tropical AI foundation platforms, the data, the research, the flexible regulations, where winners can then emerge and thrive. This is the first step in our strategic leap. The second pillar of our blueprint is collaboration. Japan's success was built on the deep Keiretsu-style partnerships, a tight collaboration between government, large corporations, and the academia. For Nigeria, We must build our own agile modern version of this. This is beyond CSR. It's about shared strategic interests. First, data for good. Imagine if our large banks and telcos anonymized and shared non proprietary data with researchers and startups. This isn't about charity, it's about providing the raw material for innovation that benefits everyone. Second, problem focused pilots. The government must become a matchmaker. Imagine a partnership where a state or local government identifies a problem, like garbage collection. A large company provides funding and cloud credits, and the startup brings the AI solution. This de-risks the innovation and targets it at the real public needs. Thirdly, talent exchange. We must create pathways for data scientists in large corporations to spend time mentoring and working with startups. This transfers crucial skills and fosters a truly integrated ecosystem. In essence, this is about breaking down silos. No single entity can do this alone. Collaboration is no longer optional. It is a strategic move to unlock Nigeria's next chapter of growth. The Japanese principle is one of harmony, harmony between human and machine, between learning and technology. It's about ensuring that AI amplifies human potential. For Nigeria, this isn't just a strategy, it is a national imperative. Our vibrant, youthful population is the engine of our future. To harness it, we must make a bold bet on the homegrown talent that we have. We start by revamping our education system, planting the seeds of data literacy early, and nurturing them into advanced research with strong industry ties. We then incentivize retention, turning our brain drain into brain gain. We will create an ecosystem where our brightest minds are rewarded for tackling the challenges they best understand, our own. Finally, we build for our unique context. The solutions that will transform Nigeria won't be imported, they will be homegrown. Imagine AI that speaks our languages, that sees our streets, that works in our communities. This is how we build true sovereign capability, not by following the blueprints of others, but by drawing our own. In closing, we will highlight key actionable policies that can unlock Nigeria's full AI potential. Nigeria mobilizes over 300,000 graduates through the NYSC program annually. It is one of the largest youth deployments on the continent and indeed worldwide. But what if this immense infrastructure could deliver more than the current scope? What if it could become the very engine that powers Nigeria's AI revolution? The opportunity is within our grasp. The NYSC operates on an annual budget of approximately 100 billion naira. By strategically redirecting just 5% of that budget, we can fund specialized training and equip NYSC members with the tools to do one critical thing: collect, clean, and annotate the data we so desperately lack. This isn't a new cost, it's a strategic reallocation of existing budgets. Now imagine the potential impact. Thousands of digitally empowered young Nigerians deployed to every corner of the country as active builders of our digital future. In rural areas, they're gathering real time data on soil health, on vegetation, and crop yields. In local clinics, they're supporting digitization of anonymized health records. On our roads, they're capturing traffic patterns and infrastructure conditions. And in communities, they're helping to preserve our heritage by recording and annotating samples of our 350 plus languages to build truly Nigerian NLP models or extend the recently launched Atlas. This is a grassroots nationwide data collection effort on a scale that no private company could ever replicate. The outcome will be a powerful win-win for the nation and our youth. For Nigeria, we build sovereign homegrown data sets, the essential fuel for authentic AI innovation that solves our local problems. For our graduates, they don't just serve, they gain certified world-class skills in data management and AI preparation. They graduate from NYSC not just with a certificate, but as a ready-made AI literate workforce, the innovators and the entrepreneurs of tomorrow. So this is more than a proposal. It is a call to action. With a small strategic allocation, we can transform the NYSC. We can evolve it into a powerful national data engine, one that secures Nigeria's place in the AI future, starting today. Our second policy proposal is an AI infrastructure credit scheme. We have a proven model already working in Nigeria, the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme. It has mobilized over 1.5 trillion naira from companies like Dangote and MTN to build physical highways. Now let's apply the same principle to build our digital highways. An AI infrastructure tax credit scheme would offer credits to companies investing in data centers, broadband internet, or computing clusters. This could unlock 300 to 400 billion naira in private investments over the next 5 years at no new upfront cost to the government. This approach is already working globally. Brazil expects nearly $400 billion in data center investments from similar incentives. Taiwan offers up to $65 million in AI tax credits. South Korea, it provides 50% R&D tax credits covering AI infrastructure. The result is a three-way win. Government achieves AI goals without full public spending and builds the foundation for long-term competitiveness. Corporates, they lower taxes while boosting their strategic role. Startups and researchers gain access to critical infrastructure. If road deserves tax credits for moving goods, then our digital highways, which will move the ideas and data of tomorrow's economy, absolutely deserve the same. It is a proven low risk, high reward strategy to secure Nigeria's AI future. As we conclude, it is important that I reiterate that the lesson from Japan is not just about technology, it's about intention. It proves that a nation's transformative change is never an accident. It is always a choice, a product of deliberate strategy and collective will. For Nigeria, this moment is our choice. Our path is not a mystery. It is built on four clear concrete pillars. First, we must define our moonshots. We must move from scattered projects to singular focus. We must channel our national talent and resources into AI for agriculture, for healthcare, for infrastructure, solving our biggest challenges with our brightest minds. Second, government must become the ultimate enabler. This means mandating open data to fuel innovation, funding high-risk R&D that the private sector won't fund, and creating the sandboxes for experimentation to thrive. Government's role is not to control, but to catalyze. 3, we must forge new alliances. We must break down the old walls. We connect the scale of public sector with the innovation of our startups and then the dynamism of our large corporations. Together, we become an unstoppable force. 4, we must bet on our people. This is our greatest imperative. Our youth are not a challenge to be managed. They are our most valuable, untapped natural resource. We must invest in them, train them, and trust them to build this future. This is more than a policy proposal. This is our charge. Let us be the generation that decided not just to consume technology, but to create it. Not just to adopt AI, but to shape it. Not just to follow the future, but to build it. A Nigerian future that is more prosperous, more healthy, and more efficient for all of us. Let us build nothing less than our own Nigeria Society 5.0. Because remember, the future is not a destination we arrive at. It is a thing that we build. It is a choice that we make. And it begins today. Thank you. Now, let's get to work. Arigato. I thank you for your time and attention.